I've been trying all day to get these waistbands on this skirt, and I just succeeded in getting one attached, but I forgot to put the belt loops on. So it's not the first time I've forgotten to put the belt loops on with one of these skirts. So it's a little less frustrating somehow because I know how to quickly put them back on. But yeah, I think because I'm going to have to tear into this a little bit and put the belt loops in, I will need to be satisfied with one. Okay, had to get ready to go because whether I'm done or not, it's time to go. But I did get the belt loops attached on not one, but two skirts. So I have a third one to do, but that has the zipper in the back instead of the front, and so the belt loop placement for some reason is taking a minute in my brain, and I don't have another minute. So it's time to go. And look at that lovely stocking. The piano is just a mess, but the lovely stocking display. So gonna take my children to ballet and then come home and probably work on some knits because this sunlight will be gone. So I'm here back knitting on the cardigan, and I did the math, and I'm going to run out of yarn in about 8 to 10 rows, which is not ideal. It's not the length I want it. It's not the length I would want it to be, even if I was satisfied with 10 rows of ribbing from here. So I'm gonna have to buy more yarn, which of course is a very common thing for me, especially because I hate having lots of leftover yarn. So often I do not buy I don't overbuy because I don't want to have too much yarn left over, but then sometimes that means I underbuy. But in the pattern, I mean, this is a free pattern, but she says she used 4 340-gram skeins, and I am on my 7th 170-gram skein. So, of course, that math should math out to 8 170-gram skeins and not 7 of them. But I thought, surely, a half a skein in the pattern wouldn't be too big of a deal. It is a bigger deal. In fact, I might even buy 2 of them just to not put myself in this position again. There is this, I don't know what this is from. It's almost as if the yarn got something on it. Maybe someone spilled something on it. So this is going to need a good soak. I think there's something, it almost feels like glue got dried on it, but it's probably not glue. It's probably a drink of some kind. So thankfully, adding 10 rows gives me about 3 inches of length. So I just tried it on, and I think I would like it to be 30 rows longer than where the seal is here. And then put the ribbing on it. But because the maths out to this being 8 more rows, and there's 97 grams left here, then I would need 2 more of these for it to come out the length I want it to. Now, I did make it a little bit oversized, but I'm still using the yarn recommendations for the size that I'm, using, actually knitting. So that's a little irritating that is coming out that way. But yeah, no. What's one more ball of yarn? That's fine. And thankfully, doing the math gives me a way to track this really easily. And for me, that's really key when I'm trying to stay motivated around a project. And this one is obviously close to being done, which is very nice, because I will not be able to take it with me on my trip this weekend because the person that it is intended for I will be hanging out with. So that's not going to work. I was hoping to get the skirts I've been working on finished again today, but I did get the waistbands on. So that was really nice. Waistbands, including the belt loops, which is important. And that means that almost all the pieces are on the skirts themselves, and I don't need to worry about like forgetting something because it's all on there. There's no more pattern pieces to mess with. It's all just finished work. As soon as I get the lining of the waistband on, it'll just all be finished work. And that's a lovely place to be in, is, when it's just making sure the hems are turned under and buttonholes and things like that. So that's going to be lovely. And just box them up and have that done and check that off in my brain, because if I go a little bit overboard sometimes with handmade things because I get really excited because I really enjoy them. But it also means that sometimes I overwhelm myself with the amount of work I put into, a month and a half or something, because I get really inspired when I'm really close to Christmas time. But yeah, I was actually talking to the husband about that recently, about how it would be really fun if we just pulled names for our gift exchange right after we've done the exchange, so we know who we're going to have next year. And that sounds really nice to me, because then throughout the year, if I make something cool that I think that person would like, then I can just set it aside. That'd be really nice. And it wouldn't be just like a generic thing that I think would fit for someone, around Christmas time, even though that's not a bad idea either. Oh man, I've taken some vitamins that help with melatonin production, and I think they are working. So I'm going to head to bed and start prepping to go on a little road trip tomorrow to see my sister in Ohio. I'm very excited to see her. So excited to see her. She's one of my favorite people. So it's going to be wonderful. And our children get along really well. Well, I mean, as well as most children can get along. They love each other, but they are also children. And yeah, it's going to be fun.